Today, we are going to install the new DRT Motorsports Can-Am X3 billet aluminum barrel radius rods. These rods fit the 2017 Plus Can-Am X3 2 and 4 door models. Install time is about 45 minutes. Can be installed by yourself with a difficulty level of beginner. Tools needed for this job are a 3/8 ratchet, an 18mm socket, an 18mm wrench, a long drift pin, a dead blow sledgehammer, a 3/8 torque wrench, a hydraulic jack, a measuring tape, and don't forget your safety glasses. So, gather the tools, and let's install. Let's start by jacking up the rear of your X3 to where the tires are slightly touching the ground. If needed, use wood or something sturdy at the jacking point, as we have here, to get the rear high enough. Next, loosen the 6 radius rod plate nuts, using an 18mm socket. Then, set them aside as we will be remounting them. At this point, attempt to remove the radius rod plate. You may have to raise or lower the rear of the vehicle to loosen the tension on the bolts. Once you find the sweet spot, the plate will remove easily. In this video, our Can-Am has a stiff upgraded suspension, so a large pry bar easily does the trick. Now, remove the radius rod plate and set it aside. First, if you haven't already, remove the wheels and if possible, make sure there is no load pressing on the rods against the bolts. In most cases, they should slide and move freely. Next, remove the upper, middle, and lower 18mm bolts at the hub. Then, remove and replace each radius rod, one at a time. Now, remove the upper rod, and grab the appropriate length replacement billet rod. There are 2 shorter rods, and 1 longer, middle rod, which is marked with the laser DRT logo for each side. Then, using a measuring tape, measure the old rod length, and adjust the heim joints on the new rod to match. Next, put the supplied misalignments in place as shown, and slip the adjustment notch end of the billet rod on the chassis stud, and the hub end, back into place on the trailing arm. Then, install the bolt and backing nut finger tight, and move on to the next. Note, it is important to set the rod lengths accurately. The top rod measures 23.5 inches. The center rod with the logo on it measures 25.25 inches. And the lower rod measures 24 inches. Next, remove the lower radius rod, and following the same steps, install the billet radius rod. The lower rod may need some muscle to align the holes, and slide the long bolt back into place. In our installation, we used a large drift pin to align the holes, and tapped the bolt with a dead blow hammer to slide the bolt through the hub. Now, remove and replace the radius rods on the other side of the vehicle following the same steps, and tighten down all the outer hub hardware. These next steps can be tricky, so be patient, and things will go together easily. Next, remount the rear wheels and then raise and lower the rear of the vehicle, until the radius rod bolts can be easily moved to slide the plate back in place. If you are still having difficulty sliding the rod plate back in place, you may need a friend to move the wheel hub around, until the bolts move free and are aligned. Now, remove the radius rod nuts that have been temporarily holding the rods in place. Next, align the radius rod plate with the bolts, and slide the plate back in place. Then, replace the nuts, starting them by hand until finger tight. Now, you can breathe easy, the hard part is all done. Next, tighten down the jam nuts on all the heim joints, as well as the factory plate hardware using the 18mm socket. Note, don't forget, use thread locker on the jam nuts, and paint check on the tie rods, to make sure they don't move with hard use. One last thing. At this point, please follow the factory alignment procedure, to properly align your vehicle, or have your side-by-side professionally aligned, at your local DRT dealer. Don't forget to torque the rod nuts to 90 foot-pounds. Congrats, that completes your DRT X3 billet barrel radius rod install. The DRT Motorsports billet aluminum barrel radius rod kit is designed to increase the strength and adjustability of your radius rods in a stylish package. These rods are manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment of aerospace-grade aluminum. This set features improved strength and durability over stock. Until we meet on your next DRT install, be safe out there. If you have any questions during your installation, don't hesitate to contact us via phone or email. We are here to help.